Maintenance is also important from the point of view that the structure needs to be safe and robust in the long run. Maintenance procedures for skyrises can be quite a challenge. In case of skyrises, simply because it is taller and one may have to navigate not only inside but outside the building as well. Carry out specific maintenance procedures. If that was not enough, clearing the ostentatious glass facades is an additional challenge in skyrises, which needs to be addressed at regular intervals. Proper architectural and design interventions at the very beginning of the construction of a skyrise to timely audits and utilization of specialized technology, equipments, and products. Process to make maintenance procedures of skyrises easier involves participation of architects, designers, consultants, manufacturers, and vendors offering specialized services, equipments, and products. Keeping this in mind, today we have organized an online interaction on maintenance tips for skyrises. I would now like my colleague Ms. Janvi to introduce the panelists and initiate the individual presentations.
Ladies and gentlemen, the distinguished speakers for today's interaction are Mr. Deepak Mehta, Principal Architect, Deepak Mehta Architects, Mr. Premnath, Principal Architect at Premnath and Associates, Ms. Sheetal Bhilkar, Founder and Director at Urja Building Services Consultants Private Limited, and last but not the least, Mr. Shantanu Saxena, Head, Sales and Design, Apple Tree Building Maintenance Private Limited.
Mr. Deepak, I was just seeing the images that you had shared of the beautiful project. One thing which came to my mind is especially luxurious properties, you have beachfront properties which are very close to a water body.
Yes.
So, do you think they need some kind of additional maintenance? Compared to a high rise which is probably not close to a water body?
Yeah, of course, because any of the building or structure which is very close to, say, our sea water, the air itself contains lot of, oxidized, salty salinations and, a lot of such kind of things, So there is a different kind of, permanent finish. We need to look at the maintenance right from the seaside or water side and compared to a building which is inside. So in that case, if we can provide, and the budget supports us, we can provide some kind of very high end like ACP cladding, which is a recent way of what we have used. The paint, yes, what I have showed you my project, which is almost completed more than 8 to 10 years, and it is almost as new as the fresh ones. There, it's a very special paint. It is a much more expensive, of course, than a regular one. But there, this probably on the seaside or some water side may not be that effective as some kind of permanent finish. So we have to take care of even during structure, even during plastering, even during covering of the structural columns, we have to take utmost, care into it.
Thanks, Mr. Deepak, for that wonderful, insight. This now, Ms. Sheetal, I wanted to ask you, for the same kind of a property, do you feel, you'll be confronted with a different set of MEP challenges, if it is close to a water body?
Definitely. While selecting materials, we have to take care for plumbing, electrical, all material selection plays major role when it is near the sea.
Thank you, Ms. Sheetal. Mr. Shantanu Saxena, in that case, I would like to direct one question to you. You showcase the different kind of products which can be used for facade maintenance. Yesterday, I was going through, a lot of articles. Some of them even in abroad, in European nations, they have spoken very, positively about rope access building and maintenance. So, according to you, how safe is it, or why should different alternatives be utilized?
So, if we talk about the rope system is so safe to use, and it has got two ropes. One for the suspension through which the spiderman is suspended, while the other is the safety rope. So, in case the worst case scenario, we consider the main rope fails, the Spider-Man does not fall but stays suspended with the help of the safety rope. However, we do not recommend the Spider-Man system for the high-rise buildings because as the building height increases, the wind load also increases. So at that point of time, the Spider-Man is not stable, and as you have seen in the image also, you will try to take the support from the facade, from the louvers or the ledges which are projected. And in the process, it damages the facade and also unsafe. So that's why it is better to use automated systems, and we have shown variety of the options available as per the project requirement. The outreach varies from 2.5 meter up to the 40 meter. So we have the options available with us.
Okay. And do you feel like the material of the facade makes a difference when it comes to the maintenance part? Would you suggest some specific materials when it comes to building facades?
Yeah, so it definitely plays a significant role, the facade element, because if you talk about the glass, it attracts the glades also. And if we talk about the rear ventilation system, which is very much in. So in the rain screen facade, it basically has a secondary skin, double skin facade, we can also say. So it creates a chimney effect, which avoids the overheating during the summer and excessive cooling during the winters, and helps maintain the room temperature. So this also helps enhance the design life of the building since it is not directly exposed to the weather. So it also gives credits to the green building certification. So there are other facade elements like high pressure laminates are there, light lighting is there. So there are plenty much options available now. And the architects, what I understand, is not purely going on the aesthetics, but now they go on to the performance of the facade element and the functionality.
Mr. Deepak Mehta, like moving on, like you have quite rightly pointed out about leakages as well, which emerge, let's say, after 5 years of occupancy of any building. Given this scenario, would you feel like how much importance should be given not only to the design and architecture, but also to the use of construction chemicals, which are new age construction chemicals which have emerged to tackle the problem?
Yeah, I totally agree with you because it is my own experience, like Mumbai, yes, people now have to upgrade, the contractors and the engineers and the PMC or whatever architects, what type of construction chemical to be used, when and where. Because I'll give you an example. We have, a project in Khandala, Lonavala. The rains are tremendous over there. The rains come with, a lot of pressure and the wind pressure and everything. So a particular chemical has to be used in a particular way, right? It to be mixed up with the cement plaster is one chemical. To apply, before the waterproofing is done, COBA is done, is a one chemical. Even after completion of things, the tile joint has to be filled up with one chemical. So this is lot of, this new age chemicals, are very, very important and very useful, Nowadays, even the marbles have been stuck not by cement or this thing, but by chemicals. The plaster, is done, with adding a lot of chemicals into it. So yes, I agree with you. And this in future, where maybe I don't know, the cement will be maybe out of it, and chemicals will come into the replacement of all those things. We have been using this in of course, not us, we are architects, but due to our, interest into this knowledge, it makes a lot of difference right from beginning. An architect has to look after all this. Thank you.
Right. So construction chemicals the importance of these chemicals are going to just increase day by day. Mr. Premnath, we were waiting for you. And sir, like in your presentation, you made a mention of some self-cleaning techniques. So can you just elucidate on what kind of self-cleaning techniques can we have in a high-rise, so that the maintenance part eases out a bit?
Basically, it's always challenge to make tall building and make easier maintenance point of view, particular exterior over there. In high-rise building are basically exposed to, as you go up over there, the temperature goes down, then you have a lot of humidity available there partially, and there's less pollution as you go to higher level, pollution at lower level basically. What is required is maintenance-free materials, which are more durable, stronger material like stainless steel, aluminium, solid aluminium, which are fire resistant, which are stronger materials. Like conventional material, what you have a ceramic tiles. Ceramic tiles are supposed to be very strong material. They come in thin kind of thickness now, for 6 millimeter to 8 millimeter thick. They're lightweight. They can be done by dry cladding and wet cladding and done a high-rise building over there. They remain generally kind of clear. Normally, we do get rain keeper coming. It's only in place like Mumbai when you have a only season, only 3 or 4 months time. But many places over there, rain keeps happening 3-4 times in a year. And it washes by and large over there. All you require is cleaning of your glasses. Unless you make a glass facade, entirely building is glass facade, the whole skin. But then there's a different challenge over there. But today we found as architects, we are avoiding to do, even a kind of developers also avoiding to do entire glass facade because that creates much more kind of problem for heat and heat reflecting back to atmosphere over there, and it creates the greenhouse effect on the contrary. So we're trying to cut down the glass usage over there, combination of glass and other materials along with that, whatever glazing required. Like you see the building done by Mr. Stein, and even building done by what you call as a Patrona Tower over there, you see, they have a small little kind of ledges on every floor. Normally, person can stand over there and possibly even a half floor can do minor cleaning, except that they do annual cleaning once a year, once 6 months time. That's all. It's not required major cleaning. All glasses are cleaned standing locally. Only thing stainless steel have to be cleaned once in a while in case any kind of suppose windstorm comes, something dust storm comes over there, only that time. Otherwise, these buildings do not require extensive cleaning as what you require a normal building in our country over here. So the material is quite stronger and durable. They may need a self-cleaning materials like stainless steel, solid aluminium, and ceramic tiles, which are semi-gloss, not gloss, but semi-gloss. We can wipe the dust out over there on that. Now these materials slightly, now they are not available now. They're not expensive now, and possibly that's the way possibly we started using already. We were using earlier stones and marble now. Now we're using the alternative material, even high pressure laminates. They're very good alternatives. They're not expensive, they're lightweight, easy to install over there, and they're self-cleaning. So the point is basically the material should be such, detailing should be such, they don't have to have molding where dust can settle down over there, don't have carving, thing like that. High-rise building should be more plain kind of smooth kind of textures, smooth kind of surfaces, but doesn't have a kind of places to the dust can possibly sit down there. And that is kind of the detailing the architect will do on that over there. Otherwise, durable materials like porcelain, like aluminium, solid aluminium, stainless steel, and such materials are definitely in a high pressure laminates. These are a very good material. We can possibly give the answer for all the high-rise building time to come.
And I would like to direct one of those to Ms. Sheetal Vilkar. So Bhanu Prakash Malla wanted to know which IP-rated bus duct is preferred for high-rise buildings.
IP54 is recommended for high-rises.
Mr. Bhanu, I hope you got the answer to your question. Now, moving on, Ms. Sheetal, there is one small doubt. Like, I am somebody who has grown up. In one of my previous homes where I used to live, it was like, external wiring. The piping was external. And I noted the same thing even in one of my previous office spaces, which was actually a heritage building. Now, there's one curious doubt which comes to my mind. Nowadays, right from electrical wiring to pipes, everything is concealed. Now, as a MEP professional, do you think, is it a good practice as opposed to external wiring and piping solution from the maintenance point of view?
Actually, what matters is workmanship. So if concealed wiring also, if workmanship is good, proper pull boxes and everything is kept properly, then concealed wiring is also not a problem maintenance wise. Over the years, we are using concealed wiring, and we have not faced any issues because workmanship of a contractor, if it is good, then it is easy to maintain. That's not the issue.
Okay. I think that ultimately boils down to the work of the professional who is working on the project. In that case, I'll direct that question to Mr. Deepak Mehta. Mr. Mehta, you're also somebody who has kind of worked on a number of high rises. I wanted to know, like, first of all, these procedures for easing out maintenance, do they impact the cost, the end cost of the housing units, which will be given sold out to customers? And apart from that, how keen are the builders and developers themselves to implement such procedures in their projects?
Yeah, see now, when a builder or a developer, wants to construct a high rise, a multi-story, which may be above 45 floors or 30, 40 floors or whatever, they have to be prepared and they have to have all these factors into the place. Because if, like one simple example, if they don't do a maintenance type of a building, the next project will be a suffering for them. People will look at it and say, see the way they have designed the previous or they have constructed the previous project, and a lot of these problems are there. So cost, yes, it might increase. Otherwise, also high-rise buildings, as the cost increases compared to the low-rise or mid-sized building. But apart from the cost, main factor is how to look or how to see the future. The problem should not come up for everyone, the users and everyone. So that's the reason many of the high-rise in Mumbai, the developers, like you see the Lodhas, and they go for permanent finish by itself. Then there are many permanent finish are there. Previously, they used to use tiles, like a telecom tower and Reserve Bank of another buildings, towers used 30 years back. They use small, glossy or non-glossy tiles, so that can be used. This way, a lot of technology will support you to use this permanent finish materials on the buildings. This is external and internal also. The builder have to do an utmost high-end, detailed way work with consultants in place, proper MEP consultant, proper architects, proper with all the knowledge, who has this type of building done.
Thank you, Mr. Deepak. And I believe when it comes to such procedures, do you believe like the cost, does it kind of shoot up like in the case of green buildings per se?
Yeah. It is not a shoot up a cost. It is the minimum cost required is required, Okay. Suppose in olden days, there were 3 floors building. Okay. Then the 7 floors building came. And then 10 floors and 30s and 50s and 7. So this, whatever is required to keep a building perfect and maintainable lifelong, that has to be provided. So it is not a shoot up or increase of the cost, but that is the way the costing has to be done for a high-rise building or any of the skyscrapers.
Okay, so that is a part and parcel of constructing a robust and a strong high-rise.
Otherwise, fine. People don't go for high-rise. They, use more of the land areas and put the low. But then indirect cost there also is a high, you lose the open spaces, a lot of things.
Thank you, Mr. Deepak, for that wonderful observation. And there are a number of questions in our Q&A box. And given the paucity of time we have today, I think we have to now the interaction. It was a privilege to host all of you. I would request Mr. Deepak Mehta to give a closing statement for the session.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And I really, truly admire the topic what you all have selected for the maintenance of a high rise. I don't think anyone have touched this type of sensitive, and in-depth detail required for this type of topic. And I really admire for this case update. And some of the questions what people have asked, I see on this box. Yeah, the building, the paint. Now, the special paint has been used. You see the Hirandanis. Okay, 20 years back building at Powai, it is looking as it is today. So a paint is to be selected, for high rise. If you want to use a paint, if you use a permanent finish, you can use it. But which such type of topics, for my a subject, I request, yes, you should come up with such sensitive other topics also, where the everyone has been very well educated, very well informed what is going on for such type of structures to be constructed and created. I really admire. Thank you.
Thank you for the kind words for these updates, sir. We'll definitely make it a point and see to it that we include more and more informative topics in our forthcoming issues. I will now request my colleague Ms. Janvi to take over.
Thank you so much to all the panelists for exchanging your valuable thoughts on today's topic, maintenance tips for sky rises. Delegates, we heartfully hope that you have enjoyed the session throughout. Before wrapping up today's session, I would like to thank our distinguished panelists, Mr. Deepak Mehta, Mr. Premnath, Ms. Sheetal Bhilkar, and Mr. Shantanu Saxena for being an integral part of our session. I would also like to thank my editor, Mr. Prasad Nair, for taking this initiative every month. We would like our delegates and viewers to stay connected with us over our social media handles. ACE Update is available on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. Additionally, you can also download our app from Google Play and App Store. So with this, we would like to announce the closing of today's session. Request you to stay tuned for such more sessions. Thank you and have a good bye.